Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant! I don't believe it! I swear I do not believe it! And they are back on terms!
Oh, that's a good start, isn't it? Unfortunately, Matthew, we can't hear him. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Rotherham United podcast live post-match following a defeat away at Millwall. Not a great performance. Matthew, we still can't hear you. You're not great, are you? Unfortunately. Hopefully, once the lockdown is over, we'll be back to sort of some semblance of normality. So, a 1-0 defeat, which is not a great result, Ben, under the circumstances.
No, it's not. I think the thing is, I think we deserved it. To be honest, it weren't the best performance, but they didn't deserve to win. You know. We deserved to lose, but they didn't deserve to win. If that makes sense. So I think a draw would have been. I think a draw would have been better. You know, Mr. Penalty. We had chances. It's just a football game. I think they were definitely told to sit off a bit.
From a performance point of view, it was a little bit lacklustre from us. I thought. Unfortunately, there was a massive lack of quality throughout the game from both sides, in particular from us. So I guess a draw would have been great. Unfortunately, we don't get away with that, despite missing a penalty as well. So Matthew's back with us, I hope. I don't know whether he's got any sound. Are you with us, Matt?
You need to add me in.
Oh, okay. Well, you're in now. We can see you. We can hear you. And Ben and I are just talking absolute nonsense about what was, in all honesty, a poor game, poor result. Glad it's over, and we need to start looking forward to Monday, I think.
I'm in now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly before. Well, yeah.
Could hear when you said we need to add you in.
This is going about as well as the game went today, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Maybe not even that. Get involved, people, please, because we can't do this. We're absolutely useless. Like Callum midfield's let us down today. He says he doesn't rate Wing at all. We're glad Lindsay's back, because he will definitely replace Wing. Disappointed that Ladapo came off because he looked threatening. Poor substitution choices. I thought Wing was all right. His decision making wasn't brilliant at times, Ben. But it is good to see Jamie Lindsay back in the fold.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot to come on, to be honest. I don't know if that's a bad thing.
That's harsh.
I didn't. Well, maybe I didn't watch the game with my full attention. I had it on in the background while I was doing something else. Obviously, I did watch the game, but I wasn't focused on it. That's maybe why I didn't see him. But it was just they'd clearly been told to calm down because of the schedule. But,
you think that's what it is? Then you think there's been a bit of a sort of a decision to take our foot off the gas a little bit, because it certainly felt that way for much of the game, where we really didn't press the way we can do, and we just didn't seem to be able to keep the ball at all, did we?
No, I hope and I don't hope that it was taking foot off gas, but I know what you mean. I seriously hope that. I seriously hope. Well, yeah, I hope they didn't, because that's just like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. You know what I mean? I hope they didn't, because like you want to win, but obviously Wickham won, everyone else lost. So it could have gone worse, but it could have gone better, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, we've obviously got a big month coming up, and we need to save our legs a little bit. Jason Wick, comment from Jason, threw that one away. It was there for the taking. Absolutely. Millwall are as bad a team as we played all season, for me, in terms of quality. Obviously their goal was a quality finish, but with the exception of that, they've got nothing else at all. But they play very similar to the way that we play, don't they? They've got that high press, and there were times when it looked like an under-10s game. You know, just ball bouncing about in the air and nobody really taking hold of the game, taking game by its scruff at neck.
First 5 minutes were something you'd see. You know what I mean? Something you'd see down at Millwall Juniors. So
yeah,
it were awful first few minutes.
Absolutely. Matthew,
that's no offence to anybody at Millwall, by the way.
I think I'm on. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly well. Yeah, thank you.
Sensational. Yeah, I agree. First half, I thought in general, I thought the game in general lacked quality. Millwall are capable of doing a job, and they basically did a job on us. That might be giving them a bit more credit than the due, because you've got to assume that's an off day for Millwall as well. I know they won the game, but what did Johansson have to do? He had the save just before the red card, and then the goal just after the red card. Did Johansson have to make any other saves in the game? Really, maybe one.
Yeah, maybe.
Pretty low quality. But the 90 minutes for me.
So, there's a couple of talking points from the game. I guess the first one, first two penalty shouts on Freddie. One in the first half, one at the beginning of the second half. Ben, what are your thoughts on the first half one? The one in the first half. I think it's a penalty.
You've done it on purpose, haven't you, Mick?
It's just see that bus coming and throw you under it.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about Freddie penalty, but I thought he played really well today.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the first ever game where I've looked at Freddie and thought, like, you actually look, apart from, you know, that left-footed shot, which I didn't agree with. I can see why he's done it, but, you know, I wasn't happy that he did it, if that makes sense. But apart from that, I thought he played really well. I think he played one of his best games, in my opinion. He looked calm, he looked good at football. And that's not like trying to be offensive or anything, but he just looked good.
I know what you mean.
The penalties, I mean...
First one then, do you think he was pulled back? Second?
I think touching at straws, to be honest.
Okay.
In my opinion, I think it's reaching.
I think it's one of them, at full speed, it looks nailed on penalty. When you slow it down, it looks less of a penalty. But I think it's one of them you should look at full speed, because he's running at full speed or almost full speed, and somebody's knocked him off his stride.
Yeah,
that's a foul. Anywhere else up pitch, that's given as a foul. I'm surprised the referee gave a penalty in the end, because it looked like one of them refs that didn't want to make the big decision. He didn't want to send Woody off. The linesman basically told him to do it. I was really surprised to give it at the end. But for me, I thought the second one is more of a penalty for Freddie. But I thought the first one was a penalty, yeah.
Yeah, I do. Having thought it through, I think that the defenders stepped across him. Initially, it looked like he'd been pulled back, but the defenders stepped across him. Yeah. We don't get it. The second one in the second half on Freddie, for me, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, that was a penalty on Freddie. I have absolutely no question about that one. And I think, to be fair, the one on Smithy was a penalty as well. But, you know, we finally get one.
I'm not having that. I'm not for that. I think that's it's very, I don't know what the word is, but you can't appeal for things like that. That's such a light thing.
We can't appeal for the one we got.
No, the one we got. I can't remember the one we got. Oh, the one we got. I don't know, because there's a few incidents, right? And obviously the second one on the one we got, the second bit of it, the defender gets the ball, right, which is a good tackle. Yeah. The first one, I just think it's it's striker centre back. It's a contact game. It's not netball, is it? Do you know what I mean? No offense to playing netball, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's. Go on.
Can't disagree with you there, Ben. But if that's the case, what their defender's done is the same as Woody did to ours. He's fallen over and landed on the back of Smithy's heels. That's exactly what Woody did. It might be outside the area or whatever. It doesn't matter. But in terms of the actual challenge, it's an accidental coming together of legs. If one's a foul, the other's a foul. For me.
Well, no. Well, one was a foul because he was through on goal. But yeah, I don't think the Smithy one was similar. I can't really remember. I've got off the top of my head a very vague memory of it, but I'm not wearing that. I think it was very light, and I think it was very poor to, I don't know.
10 minutes ago.
You are.
Only 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I think it was the least penalty of all three incidents. I thought the first two were more of a penalty than the ones actually given. That's why I think it's more of a surprise that he actually gave that penalty after not wanting to give those two. I think the second Freddie one is very similar to the Woody sending off. It's a complete accident. The defender's just got wrong-footed and he's just sort of held Freddie up, and it should be a foul. But obviously he didn't get it. The penalty itself, Mick, he struck it quite well, but at the same time, there's sort of zones in the goal where if the ball goes from a penalty, there's a good chance keeper's going to save it, and it were right in that zone.
And to be fair, the only thing Smithy didn't do is actually point to keeper to tell him where they were going to put it. He used every other part of his body to tell keeper where the ball were going to go, virtually. But it is what it is, isn't it? It's a poor penalty. Yeah. There's some you score, some you miss. You should score most of them. We can argue now, as some people are doing on social media already, that Smithy shouldn't be taking penalty. Well, no, you're right, he shouldn't, because he missed it. So if anybody's invented a time machine, just let's pop back there. We'll see if we can get penalties to somebody else. Otherwise, it is what it is, isn't it? And we move on.
I've seen somewhere on Facebook. I can't remember. I don't go on Facebook a lot because of stuff like this. But I'm not going to name and shame, obviously. But I seen he put Smithy's missed his last three. I think, is that true?
At least two. I can't remember. He got missed against Watford, didn't he?
Let's just say he missed three, right? To miss two penalties, and then stand up, take the ball straight away, and take another one is what's the word? Fearless. Is
got some balls.
Take some confidence.
Yeah. One of them will go in. He's not scared, not afraid to fail, and that's what. Nothing.
I'll tell you in a minute. Keep going.
He's not afraid to fail, and it's what great people do. And I remember you said earlier, Matt, about you watched the Shrewsbury game or highlights earlier, and how much he's changed. And I think he's just such a good sports athlete. His mentality, his work ethic, his attitude on the pitch is unreal. I thought he played well today, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
I think the penalty is one of them where it's, to be honest, you can do all this thing about faking them out and that, but it's just, it's just hits it, innit? Like, everyone, you practice it and do all these things, but unless you're Leighton Baines, it's just, you pick a spot and you hit it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm not complaining.
I don't think you should ever slate anybody for missing a penalty like that. It's not like he's tried to be cocky and chip it or whatever. He's gone for it. I don't have a problem with anybody missing a penalty, really.
I thought it was a good penalty, to be honest. I think it's hard, it's low, could have been a bit more corner. But like I said, unless you're Leighton Baines, you're not going to get it in the very corner full power, are you? So I think it was a good penalty, to be honest. All right, save, he's gone right way. What else can you do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Look at the comments then for another one from Will Daniels. Two sides that cancel leeches are out largely, which I think is right. Absolutely, it's a bit like the Barnsley game. I think commented on it earlier on. It was just dour, wasn't it? Really dour. And one bit of quality's won it for them. No arguments from Will. We should have taken a point at least, but we move on to a massive game on Monday, which is true. Jason Wick, let's not get carried away now. Plenty to play for, and it's in our hands. Absolutely, 100%. We've still got those games in hand, and the teams to play around us as well. So let's have some faith and get behind them, not rip into them, and not rip into pieces. Absolutely right. I couldn't agree more. This is what I was laughing at, Ben from Chris Millwall. He's always in admiration of Ben's ability to form a solid opinion and can't remember things he can't remember very well. But on the upside, Ben, well said, Ben.
I think that's about Smithy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, absolutely, yeah. Another comment from Wrighty. We need to be at our best Monday. We'll be well up for it after the win today, which it will, and it puts them back in the fight to stay up, particularly if they beat us, providing, of course, that Birmingham lose tonight, which we've got to keep our fingers crossed that is the case. And a question that we were discussing before we came on, Matthew.
I know.
Yeah. When he came
I really want him to do well. I don't think I can't remember the last time there was a Rotherham player that I wanted to do as well as George Hurst, because I think he's trying, and I can see the very moments are very, very few and far between. But there's moments in there when I can see a footballer. I can see it sometimes. But then there's moments where today he's in the wrong place, and that cross at the end, it's just, I don't really have the words to describe it. I don't know what he's doing. Just put it in the box.
The thing is, right, the way he jumped for some balls, I can't remember. I think Johansson kicks it up and he's like, what are you doing? You've jumped for jumping. You've jumped for the sake of jumping. Yeah. He's a very naive young kid. And I think unless he's got a good work ethic, League 2, League 1's probably his max. It's not his dad. I think he's got quite... I hate to say it. I'm not going to say that. I think that's very harsh. But yeah, I think League 1 and League 2 is probably his level.
I can't remember seeing a player as low on confidence as him ever. He just looks like a hollow person. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing there in terms of confidence, and that's clearly knocking his mental, his decision making. It's just off.
If it were a boxing match, somebody'd stop it, wouldn't they?
If it were a boxing match, they wouldn't let him in the ring.
Well, precisely. I mean, I do feel for him, and much like yourself, Matt, I want him to do really well. I want him to be the player that he wants to be. But having said that, I wanted me to be the player I wanted to be and all. And I weren't. And the reason I weren't is because I didn't have ability. And George,
I've heard you a cat in net, mate.
Yeah, 2'6" cat, mate. Yeah, absolutely.
Mickey the cat.
We're gonna go down the Mickey route. Just so everybody knows, we went on a Millwall podcast yesterday, Matthew and myself, to give them a sort of an update and tell them that we were going to win today, which is obviously went well.
You did, yeah.
But apparently, I'm called Mickey.
Yeah, but
it's a Millwall name, isn't it?
If he's listening,
I didn't want to correct him.
Yeah, if he's listening to this, it did sound like a really nice bloke, but
it's top lad, yeah.
Mickey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very funny.
If he'd have corrected him, he'd probably smash your face in. Or got somebody to smash your face in. Yeah, so we move on. We move on to Monday.
Well, a couple of points that we'll wrap up in a minute, but I thought defensively we were very good. We didn't really concede. I know we conceded a goal. But other than the goal they scored, I know you answered everything, but defensively we looked really strong against me, similar to the Bristol City game. Did we really have any problems defensively?
No, obviously I think the goal is one of them where it's a good strike. But you've got to look at what you can avoid in that. I think Barlas could have maybe closed him down a bit better. It's 3 men at back that you've got to be aware. He's still on the edge of the box. I understand there might be someone coming in from the edge of the box, but what's more important, edge of the box or backseat? You know, so you've got to make that decision. But the save, I'm not a keeper. I'm not going to say anything because I'm not a keeper, so I don't know. I can't really say anything because I'm not a keeper, to be honest. But I would like, what I would say is, I think it was, who was it now? Giles went in for 50-50 and bottled it. Yeah. And they had a shot off, and McDonald's in his face straight away, and that's like good, man. That's what I want to see. I've obviously criticised him in past and that, but that's what you want to see, man. That is very good. That's what you want from your defence, communication. So
he's becoming a leader, McDonald, to me. He's becoming such a leader at back.
Yeah. If he can step his own performance up a little bit, is easy start.
I thought we were good again today. The distribution's poor, but overall game's really good.
That's what I mean. I think his overall game's there. It's just his distribution for me. If he can step that up, I don't see any reason why he can't start every game.
Yeah.
What I would say on Giles, I think Giles has been massively disappointing from the start that he had, and he does remind me of Hurst. He does remind me of a little boy with a little rabbit with his stuck in headlights. He just does not seem to be able to get into a game. Yeah, well, you know what I mean. I'm old, Anna. I'm old.
Little boy, going from little boy to a little rabbit.
I meant a little rabbit stuck in headlights, but whatever. When you know where I'm going, he does look like a little boy. He looks lost.
Yeah.
And it's been disappointing from that.
I still think defensively it's been all right. Attacking point of view, yeah, definitely. But other than bottling that moment, his defensive game is much better than I thought it were going to be, to be fair.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know. But anyway, for me, the way that he can perform was what we're missing today. We were missing some spark. We were missing some energy. We got it a little bit when Jamie Lindsay came on, but he were fighting a losing battle. I thought that Crooksy was poor, anonymous in the game. I thought Wing was all right, not bad. Barlaser was poor by his standards today. He gave the ball away far too many times. So you've got three people playing there in central midfield who really weren't involved in the game enough. And that's where that game was always going to be won or lost. You know, Smithy was getting manhandled all over the place. He was getting thrown all over the place, as was Freddie. They were never going to win anything in the air. So it was in that midfield where the game was going to be won or lost, and that's probably ultimately where it's not where it was lost, but it's where it wasn't won. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I wonder. Been thinking about this, that Freddie's been playing pretty well, but I don't think you can play Freddie and Crooks in the same team and get the best out of both of them. Crooks' best position is right up just behind Smithy, but that's where you play Freddie. You've got to play Freddie. You can't play Freddie anywhere else. Yeah. And the thing with Crooks is, I don't think Crooks had a bad game, but I think he's been pretty anonymous because he can't push on. He can't get further up the pitch like you need him to be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Ben, what do you reckon? Can you get the best out of Freddie and Crooks in the same team?
I don't. No, I don't think so. Because you play Crooks in that midfield three, it means you have to drop either Wiles, Barlasser, or Wing. You drop Barlasser, we lose our passing threat, or Lindsay, whatever. We drop our passing threat, right? Same if you drop Wing. If you drop Wiles into there, then you've got nobody who's going to be. If you drop Wiles, put Crooks there, you've got nobody who's going to defend. I don't mean defend. I don't know what the word is. You know what I mean?
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like clean up. No one's going to clean up. Barlasser's all right, but he's no offense. He's built like this. I'm sorry, Dan, if you're watching. You know what I mean? He's probably 120 pounds soaking wet. So I am sorry if you're watching that. But you know what I mean. So I think, and Wiles doesn't do that perfectly, but at least he does it a little bit, and he'll give you that. So I don't think it, and I don't think you can really drop Freddie, to be honest. After that performance, I thought he played really well.
He did. Yeah, definitely. A couple more comments. C got to have it now. Woody's going to be a big miss. I think he probably is, but we have got Clark Robertson who's fit.
If you can keep himself fit for 90 minutes, we've got Clark Robertson.
For 90 minutes, we might be all right. Yeah, but yeah, he is going to be a big miss because he's a leader, isn't he? As we've discussed. But Angus MacDonald has been taking that on the chin recently. But that kind of feeds into a comment from John C saying that we need to be playing 4-4-2, which I have to be honest, from my point of view, I don't agree with. I don't think we should. I think the current formations served us really, really well, and won some games. We've played really well. So for me, I'm not convinced. However, I think that's going to have to happen at some stage in April, don't you?
Oh, the amount of games we've got, yeah. I mean, the only way to change it to 4-4-2 is to fit Chio in, which we can't just fit around one player because the system works. I think we're. Well, I'm surprised if he were in squad if he's not fit. That surprised me a little bit, but I suspect he'll play some part on Monday. Where are you going to put him? Would you play him as a 10 for 10 minutes? So you get that bit of pace. Could you play him as an out-and-out striker? Again, just for that pace. I wouldn't trust Chio as a wing-back. But if he's been out for this time, he might have done a bit of work, mentally on the defensive side of his game. I don't know. I want to see him back in the Rotherham shirt. It was great to see Lindsay back out there today.
Definitely.
But I don't think you should force him in for the sake of losing the rest of the team, if that sort of makes sense.
No, absolutely. Well, we'll have to see how it pans out, won't we? We'll have to see what injuries we've got over the weekend. I think Paul Davis has just tweeted that Matt Olasunde's injury is a hamstring. I don't know how serious that is. I didn't pick up on the tweet fully, but it's a hamstring for Matt Olasunde. So, we might end up having to go back to 4-4-2, which
it's a real shame.
We had to go 5-3-2, didn't we?
And I'm not just saying that because I love Olasunde, but that is a real shame because like I love Harding, right? And I remember when a commentator said he's probably up for player of the season. He's probably up there, right? But he's not Matt Olasunde.
No, he's not.
Like, I love him to bits, but he's just not. Olasunde, I don't know what it is, right? And it's not just because I love him. Anyone, you've got to admit that he's just got something about him. I do love it. Yeah, he probably is because I love him. But he just can go forward and take it past someone and just whip it in. You know what I mean?
His attacking
Harding can't do that. I love him to bits, but it's not his game.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not.
That's
definitely.
what Giles
He's a right back, isn't he?
Yeah, well, that's what Giles was
Wes
supposed
Harding's
to
a
give
right back.
you. Giles was supposed to give you that attacking today, and he failed.
Yeah.
Miserably, I might add, but and it is what it is, isn't it? He's a young kid, but you've got to step up, haven't you?
Yeah, I agree.
We're not playing youth football anymore.
John C clearly don't agree with me, saying 3-5-2 doesn't work. We're in 21st place. We are, John. You're absolutely right.
What does that mean?
We've also got 4 games in hand, haven't we? So I don't. We've said this before. Personally, in my view, I don't think the table doesn't lie. However, it's not quite telling the full truth at the moment, is it? So we'll have to wait and see where we are at the end of the season, I think, on that score. But it's football's about opinions, isn't it? And maybe a 4-4-2, a change to 4-4-2 would work. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. It's a good job it's not our choice, isn't it?
we ain't got the wingers to be playing 4-4-2 week in, week out. We just haven't. We've got Chio and Flojo. Wiles can play out there. Is that it? Maybe Clark? Sadly, but is he better as a 10 though?
I don't know. We're not going to see that, are we? At the moment, we're not seeing it. Hopefully, we're going to do in the next couple of weeks. So
I think we'll see some changes anyway. Anyway,
definitely.
We'll wrap it up because we're going to come. You'll hear from us loads over the next few weeks. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. Subscribe on iTunes and follow Spotify because they will be podcast out in theory on Sunday morning. At some point on Sunday, might not be Sunday morning, but we will be out on Sunday. And then there'll be a live show after the Lincoln game, and then we'll be back in theory again on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever that might be, going through all these games. Anything else you two want to add?
Not for me.
Benjamin?
No.
Are you sure?
Thanks for delaying your answer. That was fantastic.
We've just seen a man lose the will to live live on air there.
Something caught my attention. That's my bad. Something caught my attention. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. We're something shiny.
Yeah, someone just threw a ball outside.
Oh, quick, go fetch it. Fetch.
Cool. Right. Thank you all for getting involved and with your comments. We do all appreciate those. If you haven't already, I'm going to promote it again now. The Fan Hub app. We've had a massive amount of interest over the past 24 hours. We smashed over 100 people downloading it, and we'll be going up to aiming 200 soon. So if you haven't already download it, and there'll be some access codes coming out over the weekend as well. Giving it a really big push to get as many people as we can over the next few days. So please do that already, and send us in your predictions for Monday's team lineup. I got 10 out of 11 today, so thank you very much. If anybody got 11 out of 11, well done. But if anybody did get 11 out, let us know, because that would be a hell of a prediction to predict the full starting 11 from today. But thank you, Mick. Thank you, Ben.
You're very welcome.
Welcome.
And we'll see you all on Monday, probably. Sunday.
Pringle looking towards Odegaard. Ravel, ambitious, but brilliant!